Ladies and gentlemen, what is happening? Welcome to another episode of The Wrestling Wire. I am your host, Ron Emerson, and I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be alone. I am not going to be alone tonight. We've got a guest coming on at 8:30, and I believe also David Estacado in the house. What is happening, my brother?
Currently struggling with a tire.
Currently struggling with a tire. You know what, dude? We all struggle with tires. Brother,
This is some bullshit. Let me tell you.
is it? Man, look, has it been enough, going on in the world, or I mean, or do we just need to keep adding,
Oh yeah,
notches and badges, right?
oh yeah. Apparently, I got a screw in my tire. That's not innuendo, folks. I literally have a screw in my tire, uh, in my rubber. And yeah, I am out here putting on a donut. Had to drive all the way home, and take care of it when I got here. So yeah, good times. Good times.
Gotcha, brother. Uh, did you get a chance to catch Crown Jewel from this weekend?
I got bits and pieces. I wasn't able to watch the whole thing as we don't have our complete setup, but I got some of the highlights.
Gotcha, man.
Though I am happy to hear that my girl Miss Nia Jax retained. Not surprised.
Yeah,
Oh hail the Queen, Queen Nia.
of course you are. Of freaking course you are. All right.
Don't hate.
Oh, I don't hate. Just, I know better. You don't. It's okay.
How is
Uh
this shit rusted already? What the fuck?
oh, dude, that's how it is, man. You got to think about like cars and tires and rims and water and metal and salts on the roads. You got to keep these things in mind. So, anyway, bro, Crown Jewel was pretty dope. They had a lot going on. Uh, Six-man tag match. Solo, Jacob Fatu, and Tom Matonga defeated Roman Reigns and the Usos. That was a solid way to keep that going to build to the next step, which is going to be
Yeah.
Bloodline, War Games, Bloodline Civil War, Survivor Series. I think that's going to be awesome, man. I think that's the direction they're going. I think it's going to be fantastic. Um, I'm I'm into the way that they're like all these little subtleties going on with it. It's not like the storyline that they're doing with the New Day, where we see that it's getting ready to go south. And we know it's getting ready to go south. And they're doing this stuff. Big E's even going to be involved in this thing coming up soon. So it's like, brother, this is going to be awesome. Hmm. I'm really hyped for that. I just hope that's the direction it's going because I don't think that storyline's over yet. Um, Women's Tag Team Championship match, fatal four way at that. So four teams out there. Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair defeated Kairi Sane and Io Sky, Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson, and Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. Awesome. Solid matchup. 8 talented women. It had its cluster moments. It really did. I can't remember if I watched it the next day or later the same day. I don't remember when I watched it, but I know I didn't see any results prior to me watching it, so that was fun. Um, Champion versus champion for the Crown Jewel Championship. The way they did this with Liv Morgan was fantastic. The way they did that was so much fun. Um, it looked great. Oh God, we got some comments. Let's catch up on them. Um, Tommy Scott chimed in. What's up, guys? Also, Ron was right for once, sir. Sir, we need to have a conversation. Boondock Saints was amazing. Of course it was. I told you it was a fantastic movie. The sequel's not as good. Also, you have to remember it's 10 years later when they finally 10 or 12 years later when they finally made the movie. And there was a lot of debauchery that caused the film to be delayed that long. I'm just going to word it that way. I'm going to say it was a lot of debauchery that caused that. Um, Max Carnage chiming in. What's up, Max? How are you doing, dude? Um, and Ryan might actually be right about who's in the men's war games. I really do feel like I feel like that's the direction we're going. With The Rock showing up recently at a show and things like that. There's a lot going on. What could be even funnier? Could be even funnier. What if the bloodline called Barack Lesnar? Think about that. Think about Paul E. Think about Paul. Yeah, man. Paul could show up to help. It would be, Paul could show up to help and be like, I've got help. Don't you worry. And we get the Beast incarnate teaming up with Roman Reigns, the Usos. Like, that to me is insane. Missy Childers chimed in. Hello, how are you, Ron? I am doing fine, all things considered. It's been a long day. I am slightly uh no, I'm not slightly. I'm wore out. Like I'm a flat out tell you, I'm wore out. But we have a show that we had planned to do. We have a guest that we've scheduled for the night. So it's like we just wanted to try to make sure everything was good to go. And we're trying to do as much as we can, given the time we're allowed. But time is becoming a very valuable commodity. So we'll just keep that in mind for the future. Rikishi and Haku are the managers outside the cage, make it 80s style war games. I don't know, bro. I don't know about all that. Maybe they could show up for a thing, but I'm not sure. I'm really not sure how I feel about that 80s style.
I think that'd be cool.
It would be cool, but I just don't know that it's necessary. Randy Orton and Kevin Owens instant a no contest. They are building that up, and I love that feud. I really do love that feud. Both of them can talk. Both of them can work. And in reality, as much as I do want to see Orton challenge for another title, I am okay and super okay with KO actually ending up going over in this feud, cementing his spot in the main event as well. In all honesty, and heel Kevin Owens is fun. I don't know how else I could look at it right now, but me seeing Kevin Owens going up against Cody as as a real heel is a viable challenge for Cody. I also believe that Gunther with a face turn, going up against a heel KO is good business too. So I like that either direction it goes. But I really do feel like they're gonna push KO as a heel, and head that way.
Nah, I'm more with the Cody side of things. The Gunther being not anytime soon.
Right, I get that. Let's see here. I'm trying to catch up on, like, I'm trying to catch messages. I've got stuff being sent to me right now while we're on air so I can add it to the show. So
that's what I said. I don't know, how is that even possible?
So here's how that's possible. Gunther being a formidable champion, he doesn't have to use heel. He doesn't have to be a heel. What in the world is that? Why in the heck did that even show up?
What?
StreamYard itself has a comment that it popped up on.
Cool.
We no, it says click on a comment to show it on the screen, and it just flashed on my screen. I don't know if it happened on the video out there.
No, because I'm using mobile because I'm outside.
Right. I don't know if it happened on video
where no,
everybody
else didn't.
Watching. Okay.
No.
But it popped up on my screen, and I'm like, bro, we know how to operate StreamYard. I've been paying for this thing for years. I can't wait at the end of tonight's show. This freaking thing is being canceled. Like I'm dead set. We're
Well,
moving
next
stream
week, anyways. I still got some stuff I got to finish this week.
No. Well, I hope you get it done in 3 days. You got 3 days left. I don't know what else you got to do, but StreamYard's go. You have access to the new program. I'm sending you the email tonight. See, look, they saw it. StreamYard's like
I ain't see it.
StreamYard is advertising on my stream now. Are we that? No, we're not doing this. StreamYard, you're
Are we
fired.
getting money?
No, exactly. I at least give me a cheaper bill. You're charging me double what you used to charge me, and you want to advertise on my stream now. Like, this is a problem. We're not doing this. StreamYard, you're fired. After tonight, you are fired. I can't wait to cancel this account. I am so dead set on it being over. Let's see here. But Crown Jewel, we were just about done with Crown Jewel. LA Knight and Andrade and Carmelo Hayes. Solid triple threat. LA Knight retains. That's great. Ron needs to say, "You're fired," like Vince. Okay, I will try this. StreamYard,
Spacely.
you're fired.
I was thinking Mr. Spacely.
Well, it actually sounded more like that coach from the Waterboy than it did Vince McMahon. But okay. And Missy said, "David, you're blind." He was probably looking at his tire, not the screen when it popped up, but it's okay. And then the final thing from Crown Jewel to cover: champion versus champion match, Crown Jewel Championship. Cody Rhodes defeating Gunther. I love.
Hey, what about LA Knight? Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mentioned that. LA Knight. I already mentioned LA. LA Knight. That was a solid match.
Yeah.
It was solid. It was a good matchup. That was fun. I really do think that they've got solid talent in both Andrade and Carmelo. I am not sure what it is about Andrade. He does not resonate with the fans at all. And I don't know what to do with that. Carmelo resonates with him just fine, but Andrade does not. And I am not sure why. He did solid work in NXT. It was one thing. He went to the main roster. It wasn't anything. He went to AEW. It wasn't anything. He's back. He got a little fanfare in the beginning, but after the beginning, it was like, nobody cared anymore. And the guy is super talented. And Carmelo and Andrade's feud has been a highlight for SmackDown for Tommy Scott. I agree. It's good.
Yeah, and Idolo. I mean, I like the Idolo.
I do too. But I love the ending to the Cody Rhodes Gunther match. That Gunther was choking him out, and Cody rolled over him, and it got his shoulders 1, 2, 3. That was a great trap move. I loved it. It worked like a champ. It looked great, and it was an excellent wrestling move to end a wrestling match. I thought that was fantastic to end it that way. A really solid wrestling contest ending in a really solid wrestling move. I believe it's brilliant. When Cody Rhodes is considered more the entertainer and Gunther's more the wrestler, for the wrestler to get beaten by a wrestling move was dope. I really do enjoyed what they had there. All right, so I just had more added to me for the night. That's fine. What else is new? Oh, David just left. So there's that. I'm still building the show while I'm doing the show, guys. So that's the fun part. I walked in the door. I was able to turn on the oven, get my food started, and then ended up grabbing my pizza, and I sat down with my food in time to start the show and go live. So there's that. Let's see here. What do you guys think of Nunzio making his return to WWE? Brother, I missed it. My week has been insane. New job, and like I'm on the road a good bit, and that's just it. And I've got a lot of other things more important and pressing going on than I do as much time for wrestling or anything like that. It's another reason, my show bookings are going to be very, very limited for the foreseeable future. And that's just how it is. Like my bookings, that's the way it's going to be. C'est la vie.
I'll be right back. I gotta lift up this heavy motherfucker.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, you go ahead and you be right back then. You got to pick up the tire. I'm guessing that's what he's got to do is pick up the tire. Let's see here. This is going to be fun. Me trying to add all these. I think I got the next 4. I got 4 events here. I'm just going to have to move them. That's the fun part. Still typing and trying to do everything, getting the show set up. What in the world? Why did it do this? This is insane. What are we doing here? Now my phone's going off. Good night. Can I win today? Oh my goodness. Why am I in a group text? I hate group text. I do not enjoy group text messaging. I really don't. It is a burden. Another one of these got messed up. I know it's not that one. There it is.
Yeah, our boy Javon.
Oh yeah, Javon Evans, man, doing big things. Dude, I'm like
RVD. What?
Right. I am super happy for that guy, man. I really am. Like, that's a huge. There's a lot going on with NXT, man, and the Nunzio thing. Nunzio challenging Tony D for the North American title is cool. The Dudley Boys show up and reunite to help Trick. That's solid. Like, there's so much good that came out of NXT, and it was at the 2300 arena. Like, that's all big ticket item to me.
That's so dope.
Massive. The 2300 arena is freaking iconic, dude.
It is. It is wrestling history, ECW history.
Right. Oh God. Group messaging. And I'm sitting here reading it. Like, the more I read it, the worse I feel looking at it. Let's see here. Javon versus Wes was awesome. I will have to catch it. I will definitely have to go back and try to catch NXT. If I'm on the road tomorrow, I'll probably play it in the background. Let's see here. I hate group text too. Nothing to do with you. Still going on. Oh, dude, they're talking about something. I have no idea what they're talking about. I'll put it that way. I have zero clue what this is. The last one said something about John Wick, and I'm like, what? What are we talking about? But I find it super cool that they are doing that they did a lot of hardcore stuff. Of course, they're in the ECW arena. RVD showing up is massive, especially with him helping Javon Evans against Wes Lee. That's another good stamp of approval. You know what I mean? You're excited to see what Zarya has to offer. Dude, I am too. I think she's gonna be awesome. All four of those movies are fantastic, dude. All four of them are great. I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, just
And
NXT has been hitting it out of the park lately. Just the talent, just the wrestling, the vibe, the whole show was just amazing, and that just opens up opportunities, especially with the announcement that they made with the WWE ID thing is just opening even more doors on that.
you muted yourself again. What is happening is you are actually clicking comments and muting and unmuting yourself while you're doing whatever it is that you're doing. I have now realized that. Um, that's what's going on. But NXT is doing his thing. I heard AEW had a solid show last night. I did not catch it. I know TNA is on tonight. I know next week we're going to be having a guest on, and they're going to be talking about TNA a little bit. But yeah, we got a show to do a preview for next Wednesday. We'll talk about that during the indie segment after our guest comes and goes. And yeah, man. Let's see here. I can actually try to do this based on site. I'm going to work on this while you're getting your stuff figured out. Oh, there's a show this weekend. That's cool. Oh man, I heard I've been hearing a lot of shows have been running lately and a lot of stuff's been going in the correct direction for companies, man. That's great. Um I know one of them just got rebranded here. That was APW is now EPW. Cool for them. They're running every Friday night still. I've heard a lot of the talent that's working there are reporting good things, so that's cool. If I'm hearing good things from talent, then that is that's a good thing. If I'm hearing positive feedback from the talent that's working for a company, that's going through a heck of a transition, then that's dope. I do have an announcement to make about that show because it's being rescheduled. I'm not going to mess with that because I don't know what that is right now. I will let you worry about that one. Um, and that one, and this one. Da, 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 da. That's somewhere in here. There we go. Everything looks legit now. We should be good to go. Yeah, 23rd, 9th, 23rd, 7th, 16th, 9th. Oh, yeah, we're good. We are totally good. I got all these loaded for us, so that's excellent. I know we got another show we got to plug, but we don't have a poster for it yet, so we'll work on that. And as we get a poster, it'll get we'll do our best to take care of it. Uh, that's the cool thing about like where we are and what we're doing. Even some of the companies that are, running shows and trying to get stuff set up. That's actually a pretty cool poster, bro. I like that one. Thank you. I'm gonna add that to the show right now. We are getting these companies reaching out to us and they're like, hey, listen, can you promote our show? And we have the conversation. We tell them what the rates are and things of that sort. And everybody's like, oh, dude, this is it. This is dope. We can deal with this. So I'm really enjoying what we're doing with these people. It's working out really, really swimmingly for everybody. So I'm all about it. Bro, again? Okay. Yeah, Davin's over there adding more to the show when he could just upload them himself into the program. He sends them to me for me to do it. You would think that you would think it's just me doing all these crazy things. No, it's Davin stacking work on top of me. What in the hell? All right, so I'm going to catch up on some comments and then we're going to be we're waiting on our guest to still arrive. Bro, it's fine. You can do whatever. I'm being smart. Like I know what's going on. I'm not dumb. Um AEW was good. Kyle Fletcher and Takeshita versus Hobbs and Ricochet was good. Cool. It was all over the place as usual. Still had some solid matches. Adam Cole versus Malachi Black was good. I heard that one was good. I saw some of the clips from it. Learning Tree versus Conglomeration in a 6-man was amazing. There were some wild spots in there. Dude, their entire show is a spot. MATW, the brand new all over again. Just a crying shame that Preston Quinn is being given time on your incredible podcast just to justify why he could potentially harm our talent or worse. What? I am completely. I'm just ignorant. I'm out of the loop on this because I mean, like, I know who MATW is. I know who Preston Quinn is. I know who Preston Quinn is. I've spoke with Preston before. I've talked to other, promoters have called me and said to me things about Preston Quinn and said that this guy knows the stuff. I'm interested to see what he has to say. But this comment from Brent Fleener, MATW, the brand new all over again, just a crying shame. Why is this guy complaining that Preston's going to be given time on our show? Did this guy have something he wanted to say? I'm confused.
I feel Chisme is in order. I don't know what's up with that. I mean, I think it
And
was upset. I heard there were some musings about the poster we decided to use. I thought it was a great picture of Quinn, but some people were not happy with the how they looked in that poster. But I mean, that's just you can't fault the camera guy for taking an awesome action shot.
You mean, are you talking about the flyer I made?
Yeah, I thought it was a cool flyer.
Well, okay, so here's how this went down. I was messaging with Mr. Quinn and I said, "Hey sir, can you do me a favor? Send me some promo pictures." He was like, "Yeah, okay, no problem." So he sent me 4 and I could not decide. So I handed the phone to a friend of mine.
You sent it to me. I those are again amazing shots, but the one that you went to, I think that just
I didn't take the
personifies
picture.
Preston.
I handed my phone to a friend of mine, and I was like, "Hey, do me a favor. Pick which one of these you like the best." And she was like, "Okay, ping that one." And I'm like, "Perfect. Watch this." I made the flyer instantly. Made the flyer right then and there, and she was like, "That's how you do this?" I'm like, "Exactly how I do it." She was like, "I thought it was so much more than this." I'm like, "Nope." I'm like, "It's really not that hard." I'm like, "We do some crazy stuff, but I just don't understand why he could potentially harm our talent or worse.
I think the follow up to your question is right there at the bottom.
Or worse.
The pile driver.
Pile driver. Hey man, look, pile driver's a legal wrestling move as far as I know in professional wrestling.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about, Tommy.
Oh, did you see the post Blade Brown? Oh, hey man, look. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? I'm supposed to pick a picture. I picked a picture. I didn't even know it was Blade Brown in the picture. I had no idea who it was in that picture. It could have been Cam Jackson for all I knew. They've got a similar physique and they're similar sized people. I didn't know who it was.
See, I knew it. Chisme. I knew it.
Something's going on. Something's going on. Scott Larson, loved and shared. Let's go. Like, share, follow, hit the subscribe, and ding, ding, ding that bell. Man, Scott Larson from #Truth. Greatly appreciate you, man. guys get his Scott. He's back up and running again. And for all the time that I'm going to be missing and David's going to be missing in the near future, you're going to need your indie fix. And I recommend you getting it from Scott Larson at #Truth. I also recommend you listening to Carolina Wrestling Community. And I recommend you listening to The Bottom Line with Luke Childers on your indie stuff. Bro, you keep skipping comments. What are you doing? You are like jumping a mile ahead of me every 5 seconds. You're killing me. Stop. Leave the buttons. You leave the buttons alone. Let me drive. You stay where you are. You stay in your lane. Let me drive. Preferably in the slow lane or in the exit lane, moving towards the shoulder. Is this a Brother Silas situation again? I don't even know how to say that, Tommy. I have no idea.
Tommy,
it sounds
Tommy,
like
Tommy, that is the ECW original, nice. Sir. Let's put some respect on that name. Yes, come.
Exactly. Preston Quinn was in ECW like 20 years ago, brother. You got Preston Quinn has been around. Preston Quinn knows some of the people I've worked for too. And I'll probably bring up that man's name. And I'm sure PQ is going to have something to say. But Preston Quinn has brought back the pile driver. Good. I think some people need to be dropped on the neck. You know, maybe PQ could pile drive me and it'll shove my head back into position because my head's shoved forward. So maybe that'll help me instead of a chiropractor. Well, he's the guy in the headlock. Okay, that's him. He's about to mow through our roster. And you are the co-commentator at MATW. Okay, you're the commentator at MATW. Got you. Blade Brown could very easily be one of the young men who has superstardom in his sights. I have seen Blade Brown perform, and I do not argue at all with your statement. This, our latest episode of MATW Live. Okay, so you're going to send the link to us. Hey, go ahead and put the link in there.
I guess what he's saying is this is the MATW. Yes, this is MATW Live because we're going to have PQ on the line.
Gotcha. And you would pay to see me get pile driven. You probably should have seen Rob Killjoy do, I don't know what he did. He did a coup de grace to me on top of a picnic table. That was odd, but it did not feel good at all. That was not okay. And look, he even dropped the YouTube link for everybody if they want to check out MATW. You can check it out after the show. But for now, folks, let us bring on the man himself, Mr. Preston Quinn. How you doing this evening, sir?
Gentlemen, pleasure to be aboard. How are you?
Fantastic. So what is going on here? There's a lot of things being said. There's a lot of things being brought up online.
Fantastic to have you on. Excited to have you on.
I'm excited to find out what all this talk is because I've heard so many different things and I don't know what's reality right now. So I'm hoping you can clear the air and tell me what is going on.
Most people know I was in a tag team for the last 6 or 7 years, the Extreme Horsemen with C.W. Anderson. Mm-hmm. Arn Anderson asked if CW would take Brock under his wing and start traveling with him to try to get him ready, which left me the last man in the foxhole in the Mid-Atlantic, the last Anderson trained guy. I took that ball and started running with it. I decided maybe the spine buster wasn't what I needed to start finishing guys off with. What everybody's upset about, and Brent Fleener's got his panties in a bunch, is I decided to bring back my pile driver. And not since Paul Orndorff has anybody executed the way that I did. And everybody's upset because I'm leaving a trail of broken bodies at Mid-Atlantic Territory Wrestling up and down Virginia and the Carolinas. It's the largest regional company in the country as far as I'm concerned. And we bring people in from all over, and it doesn't matter who they are. It seems like the pile driver works good on them if they're from Puerto Rico. It works good on them if they're from the West Coast, like Mosh Pit when I got him. It works good on them if they're from Massachusetts, like I'm going to do to Bob Evans this Saturday in the semifinals of the television title tournament. It don't matter where you're from. The pile driver is just as effective on you as it is on anybody from around here.
Yeah, you sending a statement is what you're doing.
It's because I don't care anymore. You know, a couple of weeks ago, you happened to mention yourself. Well, you guys decide, not you, Ron, but Devin decided to agree that he felt like the territories were dead, and I'm come here to disagree. If you're going to tell me that TNA, NWA, AEW, which is not bigger than a territory, what's some of the other ones out there? GCW, you got Mid-Atlantic now. If you're going to tell me that those aren't modern day territories, then you're wrong. That's all it is to it. The territories are alive and well.
Well, all right. So I look at those as large feds. I don't look at them as territories per se. Territory to me feels more like a term where it'd be like, okay, you're running in Fairfax, Richmond, the Carolinas, you're running that transit. Okay, that is an entire area you're running. Now, you have, if you were to come, let's say you were to come to Charlotte, there is 6-7 feds in the Charlotte metro area.
Yep.
Probably the largest one is XWW in that, and they run all over the Charlotte market. I consider that a market more than I consider it a territory. A territory would be like warring feds is what I consider the territories like, is more like warring federations.
Correct.
Warring companies.
That's no longer the case.
I'm saying this is a modern day version. This is what Mid-Atlantic was based off of. We're running North Carolina, Virginia, and we've got plans to be creeping in South Carolina, West Virginia. That is a region. That is a territory of wrestling. We're not some independent that runs once a month, once every 2 months in the same area. This is something that runs all over the place. This is a chunk of territory. It doesn't matter if there's other small shows that run in the same area. That doesn't, that you can't look at it that way. You said there's 5 companies in Charlotte. That's exactly what's wrong with the business right now. I told you I was going to come on here and say stuff people don't want to hear. That's what I'm here for.
Okay.
Well, and like I say, in my opinion, the territory side of it is when you're fighting over turf with other companies.
Yeah.
But you're not really, are you really going out there to try to send them other companies away? Okay,
here's a dirty little secret about booking wrestling. I've been in this business for 30 years. Everybody always asks me, why didn't you go national? I'm a single dad with 2 daughters, and I picked my kids over the business. It didn't make me any less talented in the ring. It didn't make me any less of a more marketable wrestler when it came to the national scene, which is why when I decided at 40 years old that I was going to go after Ring of Honor, Kevin Kelly and Steve Corino took me in, hands down, which is why I decided that when I was going to go out to TNA and I ended up working with Eric Watts, they asked me to stay. And as a single dad in 2005, I had to tell them no when the Jarretts were still running. I had the talent to do it. I chose to be a dad. Now, what I'm saying is you have a guy that has been around, that knows, that made the connections. And if you talk to any bookers that are part of any bigger organizations, the dirty secret that they won't say, they will not do it publicly because everybody's trying to be political, is that if they could, without making themselves look like the bad guys, they put their foot on the throat of every one of these once a month, once every 2 month companies, and they'd snuff them out of their area. If they could do it without being canceled, they would do it tomorrow, because it is bad for business. And I'm going to explain why it's bad for business. It's good for young wrestlers somewhat, but it is bad in another way. And let me explain, because I want to get this out before anybody comes to a conclusion that I'm being the bad guy. All right. If we run an event in, we'll just make up a place, Tupelo, right? We run a great event there that nobody's, maybe it's the first time a lot of these people have ever even seen it, independent or regional wrestling. And we send those people home like, whoa, I can't believe that the wrestling was that good. And then a smaller company comes in that is not a credit to the business, which a lot of them aren't, with people that never established themselves in the business. They want to play promoter, play booker because they think it's important. And they put a shit show on after we go through there. And then the people that went to our event told their friends how good the independent wrestling is. And then their friends go, hey, my friends told me the independent wrestling's good. And then they go there and see a shit show. Guess what happens? They're like, this is fucking terrible. And we lose potential fans. I see it all the time. And for bookers and promoters will never come right out and say it, but they all say it in private. And, it is absolutely an atrocity in this business that there are not more gatekeepers. And that is something that I'm not supposed to say. And I tell them all the time, I'm the one that's got the key. Coming out, perform me. Coming out, book me. I'm the one. I'm a gatekeeper. And if I wanted to, I could go in and do what I needed to do to open up the area. But we just let them linger, and we let them hang around. And some of them are good, and some of them aren't. The ones that are run by people that have been around, excuse my rant. The ones that are run by people that have been around deserve to be around. The ones that aren't, by rejects and by people that couldn't get booked by anybody that are out there. And they're the ones that make this business very hard for us to go to sponsors and to go to buildings and try to tell them we are quality, because we hear it all the time. Well, we tried that with another company, but they really screwed us over, or their show was pretty bad. And then we've got to overcome things like that. That's happening everywhere. And when you said there's 5 companies in Charlotte, they may all be good. I am not in any way disparaging them. That is the reason why there's an issue. Why can't people work enough together to make something bigger? Instead of 5 separate parts, we can't put them together to make one good part, because one booker thinks he's better than the other, thinks he's better than the other. And probably none of them have more than 5 years experience in the wrestling business most of the time. And I'm not disparaging the guys in Charlotte, using that as an example, because I don't know.
No.
Right.
No, but that's a good point. Is just like, instead of having these, you could have an umbrella, right? And still represent these different. Yeah.
Right.
We have more than one promoter in the Mid-Atlantic.
Mm-hmm.
There's a head, and then there are satellite promoters that run. That's how we're able to run multiple states. You don't think one guy is going down and promoting? We're doing what Crockett did, because wrestling is ready for that again. That's the way something looks bigger than a just once a month freaking indie. And I can't understand all these indies that are popping up everywhere. And people, you look at them like, who the hell is running it? I don't even know who that guy is. I've been doing this for 30 years. And I don't even know who this dude is. Or, hey, that guy never even completed wrestling school. He's running a damn company. This is the reason why we got to have gatekeepers.
Mm. That one I know about.
It's everywhere, brother. It's everywhere.
It is. Now, one person that I know who I actually spoke with, you were a topic of conversation, yourself. And this has been 6-9 months, maybe a year ago. This has been a while ago. You were the primary topic of conversation because your name came up, and Eric Nelson.
Yeah, I know.
And, he said he had nothing but great things to say about PQ. I was like, what? I think it might have been one of the last times you were on with us.
Yeah.
Have you ever been on here before? You've been on.
I have. Yeah.
No, you've been on several times.
Dude, leave me alone. I have a bad memory and I'm tired.
I'm sorry, PQ. He's been dropped on his head a couple times.
Total disrespect. Hey, somebody said they'd pay for me to pile drive him, right?
Yeah.
We'll get to that. Yeah. Yes, Tommy Scott said he would pay to see me get pile driver. Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Scott, hit me up and tell me how much you pay. It wouldn't take a lot after that comment. He forgot all about me. So
look, I already have head issues, so we'll just go with that. Anyway,
it might fix it. No, but you bring up a good point. Is just like there's, and I think we've all noticed it, especially being in the business for so long, is that there are certain mindsets that's like people get into, like they think that their spot's being taken, or they think their area is being taken, which I've seen the best shows happen when there's collaboration. The biggest, best shows always happen when it's like these multiple shows or multiple, even if you share talent, there's a way to be able to share talent and promote and cross promote across promotions. Pro Wrestling Union, Ron, several other promoters that like, hey, our champion is going to go down to your show. Let's promote that title. Or you could have one of your champions come to our show. that works. And I just don't understand what is so against of like different promotions working together if they're in the same area.
Well,
Right.
MATW has actually used talent that are former PWU heavyweight champions
Yeah,
as well.
correct.
Chase Emery for
Yep.
one.
Mhm.
I don't recall if Drew Hood has wrestled for MATW.
Not yet.
or
Not
Not
yet.
yet. But that's going to happen.
Yeah. Drew's solid. He's a solid talent. Very,
Yep.
very good talent.
There's a lot of people that we talk to behind, like not wrestlers, but like promoters,
Mhm.
right? You know, Bob Keller, and of course, AML actually helped us get started at MATW. Tracy Myers and Brian Hawks, and still to this day, Tracy Myers and Brian Hawks. Anytime that we have a question about something, they will tell me how to get over that speed, how they got over that speed bump, and pass it on to MATW. And that's why MATW took off as fast as it did. That's why we knew what to make it look like. The lighting, everything was because of them. I mean, MATW owes a lot of those things to AML. And I mean, our first show drew 700 people right out of the box. We took over Virginia, you know, and somebody had to, because when we came out, there wasn't an RVA. There wasn't, I think maybe Pure Pro might've been out like in the Western side of the state, but there was this big, huge void in wrestling in Virginia. And, you know, that really the only company that was running once a month or once every 2 months was the one that was being run by somebody that should be in jail for things that he's done to underage people. And something had to be changed. And yeah, that's right. I said I didn't use the P word though, because I don't want anybody to come in and try to say I besmirched somebody's name. But let me tell you, I'm telling you right now, and I look in the camera, if anybody that works there has got a problem with anything I say, I'll beat your fucking ass. Right in the parking lot. Hey, one of you can do nothing about it. I'm just gonna let you know right now, and that's a shoot, because you work for a piece of shit that took advantage of people, of younger people, and I don't even get me started. Anyway,
I don't even know who we're talking about.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They sent cease and desist and everything, trying to get people to shut up. I don't whatever, you know. It is what it is. People tried to turn the other cheek for that once every 2 month booking in front of 200 people like it was fucking WrestleMania. And it is what it is. But that's a professional wrestling business. And that's the kind of reasons why we need to snuff that kind of stuff out. But like I said, AML, Bob Keller, Timmy Danger, Neil Sharkey out there in RVA, total class acts. You know, and there's other companies that I haven't really spoke to that don't, you know, it's like, I know they exist, but I don't, you know, one way or the other. My point is, if you can't bring out a product that makes people want to come back, if you're running consistently in front of 100 people and you're not increasing and you're just not getting traction, maybe you need to sit back and go, what do we need to do? You know, we pull at our smallest venue 250 for when we record TV in Yorktown routinely monthly, and that's our small stuff. Gloucester's probably going to pull 1,000 November 23rd. And we do that because we put guys that look like wrestlers, guys that look like men, right? The guy in the second row doesn't think he can whoop anybody's ass that's in our ring. He's not going to jump that rail because we've got some little tiny guys out there wrestling, right? You see those things happen. That doesn't happen for us. We put people out there that are larger than life, that understand the business, that understand how to work the crowd, how to work emotion out of them, and can still go. We have a great mix of veterans and young guys. And it's and even Kevin Kelly, when he came, he said, we had the perfect pool of people that we had put together where the veterans and the young guys were working so well together. He said it was a perfect ecosystem of a locker room. That's what you're looking for. I don't know what these other companies are doing, right? Why are there so many issues? Like, we haven't had the first issue in our locker room in almost 2 years of existence because everybody's working for the betterment of the business.
Because it sounds like you set up the environment for there to be creative ideas put together, not just from the new guys, but the veterans that you have together, that they're able to collaborate and make these moments happen. You set up that environment and look at the product that you're getting, and it shows.
Well, here's another thought to that.
Mm-hmm.
When you have guys that have been around
Mm-hmm.
and have been in those locker rooms where they've seen the drama stuff, they've learned their lesson. Not only that, I hate to break it to you, but what are we on right now? We're on Facebook and we're on social media. And how many people are watching? A lot. How many people are going to hear our clips? A lot more. There is over, if you sit here right now and you tallied up all the followers of all these pages, there is over 300,000 people that follow these pages that we broadcast on. There's a Roku network out there. We're being broadcast live on Roku TV, on XWW TV right now. ExtremeTVOnline.com has this show right now being broadcast live.
Yep. Not to mention internationally that you've mentioned it too now.
Bro, so you're telling me all those people are seeing everything we're saying. Doesn't that also apply to any posts you make? It does. So if you're online acting like a jerk off, you're probably not going to get booked by a company that wants the better quality talent and wants to move forward with professional. Correct. Oh, wait, professional. That's that first word in professional wrestling. It's like it's rocket science.
It's so easy. It really can be so easy, guys.
This is chess, not checkers. I'll elaborate that statement for you. I'm all about checks until checkmate. I'm not some moron running around the indies saying, "King me, I'm the best."
You know, and here's another thing. A lot of people say, well, where are the young people going to cut their teeth if you don't want some of the smaller companies, you know, that could be messing up business, right? I didn't say I didn't want them. I said I wanted quality ones around, right? But secondly, how did younger people cut their teeth back in the day? They got in there with the veterans, right? Once a veteran saw something in them, they said, hey, you know, come on, we're going to teach you how to do this. You're going to get in the ring with guys that are better than you. How do you get in the ring with guys that are better than you if everybody in the locker room is the same experience level? How are you going to learn? Be the dumbest guy in the locker room so that you can learn something from everybody. All we want to do is make this business better than what it is. You know,
right.
That's what it takes. The veterans are there to make the young guys better. And we have offered, we've had we leave the door open. It doesn't matter whether you work for MATW or not. If you show up as a young guy, you are going to learn something. We will sit you down in the locker room and answer anything we can. We'll show you what's going on. Well, if you have any question about what you saw in the ring, our guys sit down with these dudes forever to try to help them out. That's the way it should be.
I've only been doing this for about 5 years now. I'm coming up on my 5th year as an announcer, right? And one thing that I've tried to do is I will sit there with the talent and be like, all right, I've got to do your name, your moniker, your title, weight, and where you're from. How do you do? And I'll run it through them. Well, this is Preston Quinn, and he's from Fairfax, Virginia, weighing in at whatever, you know, I'll go through the whole spiel with them and be like, what order do you want this in? Do you want me to change your moniker with the title? You want me to change the title with the moniker? You know, where do you want it? I want to present it for you because I'm not the star. You're the star.
Right.
So if it sounds better to you this way, then that's the format for you. Now, that's normally the title holder. I normally start with the people in the main event. Mm-hmm. And then I tell the people in the undercard, you know, anybody under the main, I will tell them, hey, look, here's how he wants it presented. You want to go with his or do you want yours different? Oh, do it different for me. Hey, no problem. Here you go. I'll give you whatever the hell you want. I'm paid to be here by the promoter. I could care less what you want me to say. You can tell me you're from Timbuktu and weigh 2 cents. That's not my problem. I'm going to announce what you tell me to announce.
And it's our job to announce that, to make sure that the audience hears it. But also, it's our job to kind of teach the audience like how we announce that information and project that information to them. Like,
right.
And we each have our own system. Like I have my Google Docs, as everybody likes to call them, but at least I have all the information there. Should anything change, hey, what do I need to update? Did you change your nickname? Did you cut over the weekend? Did you gain some gains over the weekend? No, we're going to change that weight. Every other show, it seems like there's one guy who's always like, yeah, I changed my nickname again. All right, cool. What are we doing this time? But as long as the crowd hears it and can hear that emphasis, because essentially it's up to the announcers to kind of inform the crowd, okay, this is the heel, this is the baby face, these are the rules of the matchup, this is what, is going to go on. Because, like you said earlier, Preston, some fans that come in have probably never seen a wrestling show before, right? This is their first time getting exposed to this kind of entertainment. So they have to be able to watch and be like, oh, I know what's going on, and get it just like that, just by that little job that Ron and I just went down.
Yep. And imagine this. Imagine if you are those fans, that family that's coming in for the first time, right? And the first thing that happens is you have an unprofessional announcer come out there, and the setup looks unprofessional. Like, there's barely even aprons on the ring. And we've seen those, right? We've seen that kind of stuff. And the first two wrestlers that they see look like they just step off a school bus, right? The first impression that these people get are two 150-pound soaking wet guys that are going to go out there and give a poor gymnastics routine. And they had a poor presentation. They got two small guys at the beginning of it, and a probably not even dressed properly ring announcer, right? That's their first impression of independent wrestling. That is exactly my point. 100%. You have totally lost that family forever.
Now, I will say this. And this is probably going to be a dig at myself, and it's okay.
Yeah.
This is okay. This is okay. So when I first walked out as a ring announcer, I had a ponytail, the sides of my head and the back of my head were shaved, and I had a soul patch. But I had a suit on with a bow tie and suspenders. Okay? Now, I have done bar shows where I've showed up in shorts and a t-shirt to ring announce. It's outside. It's hot as hell in North Carolina, and we're at a bar. I've had a drink in my hand. I've had a cigar in my hand. I have smoked in the ring doing ring announcing.
And well, in your defense, pal,
that's part of the show. That's part of the show.
It's a bar show, though. Are those really wrestling fans there? Those are people there that are ready to party. It's two different things.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give it to the both of you, because I think depending on the vibe, and I think that's what Preston's trying to get to, the point he's trying to get to, the vibe that he wants to look like a professional, high quality show. But agreeing with Ron, I guess it all depends on the vibe of where the show is at. If it's a bar show, dress totally for the vibe of the bar show.
Right. Totally
if you're gonna be at a promotion, I think what Preston's like, he wants his vibe to be, this is a big main event, pay-per-view quality, dress like you're going for the job you're going for.
Right. Yeah. I 100% agree with that. I 100%. Dude, all right. I bought custom. Number one, I just bought a custom suit. Number two, I made my colors.
Custom, baby.
I made my colors match whatever company I was working for.
Correct.
Like, that was a complete gimmick of my own. I was coming out wearing, your company's colors are gold and black. Guess what color the suit is, baby? We gold and black tonight. Oh, your company's red and black. Got you. Red, blue, purple. I don't care. I went to the suit store, Suit City over here in Spartanburg. I have bought plenty of clothes from them. That's the only time I buy clothes. I hate buying clothes. I think clothes are the biggest waste of money on the planet. I will go to Suit City and just hear.
I see it as an investment, honestly, because if you get honestly, all you need is four good suits, and you can mix and match those. Am I right or am I wrong?
I got two, but one, I can't wait to do our next convention. I'm gonna piss so many people off at the next convention we work. Oh my god, they're gonna have aneurysms on when we do this. I promise you.
Look like something Cornette would wear.
Do what?
So does it look like something Cornette would wear?
That's what I was about to say.
No. I'm gonna make Cornette look like he fell out of Walmart.
Oh,
maybe the
God,
DJ.
that sounds gaudy as hell.
Oh, dude, it's
I'm in
gonna
for
be
it.
great. All right, look, I plan on Robert Downey Jr. being like, "Hey, man, nice suit." That's what I plan on happening. Okay.
Actually, that brings up a question, Preston. When it comes to refs, because that's a big thing, and I know different promotions do different. Are you a tuck shirt guy? Are you a striped shirt guy? Are you a bow tie guy? A button down guy? What is your look, or what do you think a ref should look depending on the show?
I like the stripes because I think more people can relate to that. I like that all our referees have the same thing for one, but I do not have issue with like that old school ref look. I think that had the button up with the little bow tie gimmick.
Yeah.
I think that's I kind of like that too, but I think overall we do the stripe thing because that's even to like one of the things we go by is if it confuses a 5-year-old, then don't do it. We want everybody to understand. So if a 5-year-old looks up and sees the stripes, they know, hey, that's the referee. So it's best just to give them the easiest indicator that that's the official.
Okay. I don't know. I agree. I don't know. I feel like that bow tie can be brought out for special occasions or special events.
I'm partial. I'm partial to that. Yeah, I do like that.
Right. Especially if you have if you called a tournament or if you called a show the Wrestling Classic or something like that. And everybody came out in old school gear. Like the announcers wearing a tux with a.
That's like MATW every show though. We're totally throwback. No, that's everybody's like, my God, this looks like Crockett, right? And so even Baby Doll was like, oh my God, this reminds me so much of Jim Crockett. It was amazing to hear that. It made me want to cry.
So that must have felt like such a huge honor to hear that.
Oh, dude, I was like, I need to have a seat. We put so much effort into it to look, to kind of meld together that Crockett early '90s WCW at the same time, and meld all that look together, and I think we pulled it off. So, yeah, man,
what I've seen online. Because I did do some checking into MATW's product, everything looks good. It doesn't look like it's, it doesn't look like things were second guessed. It doesn't look like there was a lot of last minute changes. It looks like the production, the fluidity, the show itself goes off nice and smooth, which is a great thing. When you have glitches in the mainframe and you have glitches in the system and things happen, hey, that's part of the game. That's part of live entertainment.
Oh yeah, production is hell, son. Production is hell.
I was talking to a buddy of mine today. We were driving back from Columbia. Well, we work together, and we were driving back to Greenville from Columbia, and a wrestler called me and wanted to touch base and talk about some TNA stuff and talk about some other things with me. And I got off the phone with him, and he was like, "Man, who was that?" And I was like, "Oh, it's this wrestler I know. He's heading, he's heading over to TNA. They got TV tomorrow or whatever." And he called me to check on me and let me know, kind of what's going on and touch base about some stuff for next week. And all of a sudden, he's like, Is it really as crazy as it looks? I'm like, dude, it's nuts. And I said, when stuff breaks, it's even worse. He goes, tell me. Because he wants to know about the fails or the mess ups or how wild it gets. And I'm like, all right, I was working a show and the microphone gave out. I got out of the ring, jumped the barricade, and took the microphone and started talking to the crowd in the crowd. I walked through the crowd. To hell with it. What else am I going to do?
Yeah.
They've got to fix stuff. I got to keep them people going. So I'm walking into the crowd, taking pictures with people. Like, what? What do you want me to do? I got to do something to keep them going. Here we go.
I mean, you don't want to lose momentum at that point because, the worst thing that could happen is a audio malfunction or a video malfunction. The show must go on.
Yep.
So the fact that you were able to handle situations like that and still get the crowd going and still get them interested in staying, or even better yet, pulling an audible where a 15-minute intermission goes for an hour.
Oh no, it wasn't that bad. It was
situation.
It was maybe 7 minutes. I made my way through a good portion of the crowd that was close to ringside. And whatever. I told people, hey, go buy merch. It's over here. I was like, hey, check me out. I'm at the merch table or whatever. I was doing whatever I could just to keep people rolling. But on the flip side of that, I worked an absolute crap show. You want to talk about a crap show ran by a guy who never made it through wrestling school? How about a guy who didn't make it through one full day of training? That happened. Here's the hold up. The microphone went out after I announced the first person, not the first match, the first combatant in the first match. I threw the microphone to the promoter, went and sat in the crowd. I sat with the crowd to do the announcements for the remainder of the night. That is the number of people in the crowd. They were all sitting with me. I sat dead in the middle of them. Then I signed my cards and handed them to the crowd. That's my other gimmick. At the end of the show, I walk around and sign the cards and give them to the kids. Merch table stuff, man. Not everybody can afford merch tables. Somebody's families don't have that. So here, you got a little souvenir for a kid. Who cares? And my autograph isn't worth the ink I wasted to write it on the back of the card. The card was probably worth more. An index card. But it's still something for that kid.
Yep.
But no, forget it. I sat there with 7 people in the crowd who paid to be at the show. Hey, forget it. I'm gonna sit right here. And they can hear me. I could care less about the people in the ring.
Well, the saving grace to that though is if it's Bush League indie promoter math, 7 people magically becomes 200.
I mean,
or technically it's sold out.
Yes. No. Oh God, I got another rant.
No.
You son of a bitch. You made me do this. How frustrating is it to me? Okay. This is, I think sometimes the foresight of people just isn't there. When a company announces front row tickets are sold out, right? And I look at that and I'm like, that's like 50 tickets at most. Why are you like, hey, we've been advertising this for 3 months and the front row has sold out 2 days before the event. So you've sold 50 tickets. If you really break that down, are you proud of that? It's like, can we be any more Bush League? Or like when promoters are like, hey, we've sold 600 tickets, and then the show comes around and there's like 120 people in the crowd. Do you not think anybody's going to put together that you're full of shit at any point? Unbelievable. Oh my God, this is all your fault. All your fault. I had to do this.
Hey, I don't care. Look,
we can only clean it up one step at a time, pals, and this is how it's got to get done.
Listen,
I mean, Ron warned everybody. It's like we're just gonna let him get on, just let him do his thing.
and guess what? If I was worried about bookings or my brand, do you think I would have said something? Have I told you anything? Did I give you any rules? My normal rules are do not talk religion, do not talk politics. Other than that, I would prefer you directly not bury somebody.
Yeah, he did say that. Yeah. So I made sure I didn't say any names and I didn't talk about any politics. It's just some things that go on here and there have to be kind of mentioned that needs to be out of the business, right? We need to regulate. We need to police our business. A lot of things used to happen bad through the 70s, the 60s, 70s, 80s. But nowadays, with the internet and all that, we find out a lot of things about a lot of people in the wrestling business. And most of the time, the business is pretty good about saying, this guy's a criminal. This guy screwed people over. This guy did this, whatever those things may be, and some of it is horrific. But it's when the system fails and allows people to come back to the business because it's been some amount of time and we don't think it's severe as it was. We rose-colored glasses type thing. Or when we know that somebody does bad business, that steals sponsorship monies and burns out towns and stuff. When we run into those things and we don't, as a collective, say, we have to gatekeep this. We have to protect our business from these mud show son bitches, right?
Man, listen. Speaking of somebody screwing sponsors, this happened about a year ago or so. A buddy of mine called me up. He said, "Hey man, do you know anything about a wrestling show being run for a benefit for some fire or something?" I'm like, "No, why?" He's like, "Well, you know everybody here." I'm like, "I know a lot of the people here, but I don't know everybody." He goes, "Some random dude showed up at my company. He owns a business. He owns a small business, and got him for some money." And I took the pictures and was asking people. I was like, "Y'all know this cat?" Everybody's like, "No." There's no flyer. There's no poster. There's no nothing. It was a straight up scam.
Good God.
When I found out it was a scam, I started sending it to people I knew. I was like, "Hey, I need this money returned. Or when he gets found by some of these other people, this is not going to go good."
Yeah. Get the Italian stallion after him. Break his legs.
Within 3 days of somebody locating who it was, the money magically appeared back, and the guy said, "I am so sorry. Here's your money back," and left. And that's the end. I haven't heard peep one.
That's what has to happen. We have to expunge. We have to exercise these nasty sons of bitches.
We got to exercise the demons out of here. All
yeah.
Right, I'm good.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I'm with it.
Well, some of the, and there's a lot that happens, especially here in the South. The South is weird. We're in the Bible Belt, right? So it's a different form and facet of entertainment. You got Christian shows, you got family shows, you got a lot of charity stuff going on. It's a different crowd, in my opinion, than your standard professional wrestling crowd, right? Yep. Because it's for a cause, or it's for an affiliation, or what have you. Some of the coolest shows I've been around, I saw people get baptized at. I saw people get baptized at wrestling shows. That is wild to me. But it's cool because that's one of those things where that's part of this market. Like, that's a part of the wrestling market here. The markets are so different. It doesn't, like, if you go to Greenville is kind of a yuppie. It's not a yuppie. It is a yuppie town. Charlotte's kind of, Charlotte's abrasive. Asheville's a hippie town. There's like the variable contrast within 90 minutes of each other is just nuts.
We have the same thing.
And I think that's why everybody brings up, and we hear. I think we have all heard it in the business. Different flavors of ice cream, right?
Yes.
So like there's different flavors of wrestling to fit whatever market there's out there. So you got your, we've said you got your hardcore market, you got your, death match market, you got your lucha market, you got your, I want to say like submission market, because those are now popping up. Those are actually getting pretty popular right now. Are those like MMA style grappling type promotions? But yeah, different flavors of ice cream. And I think that's what I think would help if there's like an umbrella, and having these different versions of wrestling under an umbrella that everybody can get a piece of that pie.
Well, I understand what you're trying to get at. However, from a business standpoint, where I see that is, if you already have a successful hardcore show over here, why would they want to align with a professional wrestling show?
Right.
And why would that professional wrestling show want to align with a sports entertainment show?
Right.
Because
there's not a lot of cross culture there with fans.
And there's not a lot of cross culture.
Yeah.
And not only that, the money, you're you're sending money up to a chain that doesn't represent you properly.
Yes.
I mean, look, that's kind of like paying taxes in some people's estimate. I'm just gonna leave it at that. You know, I don't want to pay for everything out there.
I think the way you have to look at a structure like this, and it would never happen with the egos in wrestling today, but the way that it would have to happen is there needs to be a bar set on what the event looks like. It's almost like you franchise it, right? All the events have the lights. All the events have the beautiful aprons. All the events have the entranceways. All the events have marketable wrestlers. All the events have outstanding looking merchandise, right? And it's like, look, if you want to be a successful promoter, you're going to have to put skin in the game. You can't just walk in with your tax return and start a shit company, right? So you come in with some skin in the game, whether you had to get investors or whatever. But if you're serious about it, you'll put the money in to look like the product you're supposed to be. Right. And if everybody's franchised and looks if we're talking about under the umbrella, right? And I agree with what Ron is saying with you can't mix the MMA style with the the old school and family friendly style versus sports entertainment style. They're their own brands, right? They wouldn't be the same, right? They would all be different things because they have different fans. But when you have companies that are all trying to be, hey, we're pro wrestling, good. Maybe we can get something alike, something that looks the same, something that is quality, and take that around to all these different areas because, well, this company used to be a small company in Tupelo, and this company used to be a small company here, but now they all look like one company. And to the fans, this company is traveling all over the place when in actuality, it's satellite promoters that are doing their own shows that look the exact same as the show that happened 2 hours south of them. Perception is reality.
Most definitely. We are going to catch up on comments because we have got a boatload of them to get through. And man, there's been a lot to say. There's been a lot going on there. Obviously, Brent said this when you first came on. He appears. Mm-hmm. Dante Khalifa is watching. The Dante Khalifa is watching. I had to put the stank on it. Dante Khalifa, fantastic young talent coming out of the Firestar Pro Wrestling Camp.
I love Firestar. Love him.
Dante Khalifa is definitely a guy. If you've never heard of him, take a
Gotta
peek.
watch him. Definitely.
Preston, I'm telling you to watch the
kid. I think he's been suggested to us, as a matter of fact, that you said that because Bad Magic, Chris Prince, and Nathan Cross, I think they put him over. Yep.
I
will put my check mark on the Dante Khalifa as well. Super professional.
I second that.
Super professional kid.
Dante, send me some footage, buddy.
You hear that?
If he didn't hear that, Scott Larson will tell him. I promise you. If you've met Scott Larson, you've got to do Scott's show. You'll have a blast on Scott Larson.
Yeah.
He's a whole different cat. He's a whole different podcast. He actually does structured questions. You know what I have on my desk? I have Reese's. I don't have.
You're my type of guy. Look at that. I didn't get 280 by eating freaking salad, pal.
Same.
I don't eat like that anymore. I can't eat like that anymore. I just can't do it. But yeah, look, pile drive Fleener on his neck. People really don't like Fleener.
Yeah, I noticed.
Super fan Jamie Bolin right there. He's like one of MATW's biggest fans. Look at that.
He was always at our XWW shows here in Charlotte. Guys,
before he moved,
dude
right?
Is awesome. Dude gets around.
Bolin's a good guy, man.
We recommended him to go see you. We told him to go check
He's
you
like
out.
at almost every event, dude travels with us, basically.
Yes, he's an awesome guy. He really is. Territories are still secretly being ran. Yeah, that's pretty much what Preston was saying on that. Scott, you need to message Preston, or I'll set that up. I'll link you two up so that way you can get that taken care of. And we send them home with that very sentiment after every show. Our fans have spoken and do often. So Fleener saying that the fans that go to the MATW shows leave happy and return, and they preach and tell people to come on out. Ronnie Davalt said preach. Keeping it 100, you would. Hey, I know that was when you made the remark about beating somebody in the parking lot.
Yeah, hey.
MATWonline.com.
I believe it. Someone's getting power drive off the concrete.
Max Carnage.
I try not to be a violent man. I was when I was younger and stuff. I try to be cool, but when it comes to protecting kids, I get crazy. So my fault.
Here, same, yeah.
Right. Max Carnage said, "Best thing I learned in professional wrestling: shut up and listen." Max Carnage,
yes, sir. Max.
That was awesome. Preach. Missy Childers got behind you, and
Thank you, ma'am.
I will say this. All right, so Chris Thunder Anderson. Do you know who Chris Thunder Anderson is?
By name, yes, because CW Anderson. I've joked with CW about a guy having his first name and Anderson. I teased my partner about it.
Right. So Chris Thunder Anderson is Missy Childers' husband. So
okay, all right.
Yeah, so she's there. That whole household is probably sitting there watching right now. Their entire house watches this show.
Hey, man, I'd love to meet them. Tell them to come out to an event and introduce themselves. I'd love to meet them.
Chris has been around for a while. I've gotten a lot of really good constructive criticism from Chris about, hey, man, look, I know some stuff is funny. Try not to laugh. I'm like, I'll do my best.
Yeah.
I'll do my best. I always try to. Shane Odom said wrestling content creators are being kicked off of TikTok for showing their reactions to PPVs and PLEs. I may need more context for me to chime in on that, but here's the thing. If they are rebroadcasting audio or video and adding their spin to it, they are using copyrighted material, and in which case, hey, guess what? It's
it happens.
You don't know how to follow rules.
That's
got awful.
Yeah, there's some workarounds, but that gets complicated. Yeah.
It does. It does. Refs should look like folks who are officiating a sporting event. You know, I'm going to say this. Don't get mad. I agree with what Brent said here. Don't get mad at me. Look, she has a signed bar of soap. That's a gimmick between her and I. I have always had the foulest mouth on this podcast. So one wrestling show I was announcing for, it was a charity event for what's the people hospice. It was for a hospice thing. I was like, bring the bar of soap to the show. Promise me you're bringing a bar of soap. She was like, why? I was like, you're going to shove it in my mouth while I'm walking around the ring. And she did it. So I took it to the back, signed it, and gave it back to her after the show. Just as something fun. Standing room only. There you go. Standing room only. That's all you got, huh?
Well, he's making fun of the promoters that always claim, standing room only, and you look and you see like 45 people there.
Sold out to all the family members.
More like sitting room.
All the wrestlers, people and family, the caravan they showed
That's right.
up with. Outlaw Mode shows at its finest. My goodness. And this guy said, by God. The way he said, by God, sounds like St. Mary's County, Maryland to me, brother. I'm sorry, but that's what that sounds like.
Wow.
Oh, they met you at WrestleCade and HWA.
Yeah.
That's where they met you at. They met you at HWA in North Carolina. Rutherfordton, North Carolina is where they run at.
Very good.
And WrestleCade. But brother, we are getting ready to move into the indie segment. You have options. You can stay or you can go. If you stay during the indie thing, you can tell me what you know about, or you can give your. I really don't. I'm not going to say that. That would not go over well. So you can talk about the MATW shows that I have flyers for. If you
I will go over that real quick because I have an entire Black Ops 6 squad waiting on me to come on there and whoop somebody's ass. So yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Message me your code. I'll add you.
She says standing room only means they didn't book enough chairs. I love it. I love it. Way to go, Missy. Way to go, Missy. I love it.
Okay, so because my brain goes 380 miles an hour in 4 different directions.
Let me get to your
MATW stuff.
When I put your flyers up, we can talk about it. MATW, hit me, Preston. What you got November 9th?
Yorktown, Virginia, live TV taping Body by D Gym in Yorktown, Virginia this Saturday. You have to see the semifinals of the television title tournament. Heavyweight champion Doug Delicious will be there. Big Man Award will be there, and a host of others. 3 episodes being taped this Saturday in Yorktown, Virginia.
Gotcha. Now, Preston, I do have to tell you, we work for multiple companies. You know this.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to do is I'm going to run straight down the cards
Yep.
and you speak for the MATW ones because you know those.
Okay.
David and I will speak on the other ones. We good?
Sounds good.
Amen, brother. Thank you. Coming up, Collision Course, HWA is coming back, Marion, North Carolina, on November the 16th. Your main event for the evening is a last man standing match. TNA legend Frankie Kazarian going up against Spotlight Scotty Brooks. That is going to be something special.
Those dudes look like wrestlers too, son. That was a good looking poster.
Hey, man, look.
Those posters always look dope.
Look at my boys' whiskey business up there. My goodness.
Whiskey business up there. Somebody you know from your past, Chris Hamrick in the house.
Oh, big boo, Chris Hamrick. My goodness.
Oh, we're gonna have to have a conversation off air. I'm gonna tell you that here and now. We're gonna have a conversation off air. Definitely. We got another one right here.
Hey, MATW Pro Wrestling coming to Prince William County Fairgrounds, November the 16th on Saturday. Going to be in the big show barn arena out there. So you got that coming. We're going to have champion Doug Delicious going to be there. I'm going to be there. The glorious tag team of XLG are going to be there against one of our best upcoming teams of the Flippin' Problems. And you guys are going to definitely hear more about them. Big Man of War, Keo Vandu is going to be the one that's going, hometown guy, going up against Doug Delicious. And if you haven't seen Vandu in action, buddy, a lot of Ricky Steamboat vibes out of that guy. And then BT Windsor, the big rig himself, the reincarnation of the boss, Magnum TA, is going to be there.
Gotcha. All right. That is going to be awesome. So look at that. Multiple states covered on that. We have got Dead Man's Hand coming up.
Dead Man's Hand. That's right. Insurgents Pro is coming back to Eden, North Carolina. The cards are stacked, and this card is definitely going to be stacked after this. It's going to be an amazing matchup. We don't have the card for that, but those could be the talents for that show. You don't want to miss out. November 30th in Eden, North Carolina.
Hell yeah. XWW's Death to the Queen has been rescheduled. I do not have the new date, but XWW's Deathmatch Tournament will be taking place. There was travel issues, is what I was informed of. And
a shame.
Yes, I know. I wanted to watch that. I wanted to watch Death to the Queen because it's not going to be a show where they're going to have your standard audience or whatever. I was going to go hang out at the studio myself and be there for it because, you know, I love the company and they love me too. So, I was just going to go hang out for the day on my own accord and just go chill. That's what I wanted to do. Let's see here. MATW back at it
Another
again.
MATW. You guys skipped the Gloucester one, though. That was November the 23rd.
Wait, okay. My bad.
We can get
that. Let me get that.
Dropping the ball. And you know what? You also dropped the ball on this one. Crowning your first ever TV champion this Saturday?
He's a liar. That's happening in Gloucester. This is the semifinals on this Saturday. The finals are in Gloucester.
You liar, Brent. Okay. Getting me all hype and excited for nothing.
Is a liar. Right here on the big podcast here. My
God. My bad on skipping the November 23rd one. What happened was I read the days wrong and I read October instead of November. My apology.
That makes sense.
Was my fault.
There it is, the big one. Thanksgiving Thunder, November the 23rd, Gloucester, Virginia. We do expect roughly 1,000 people in attendance at this event. They always come out in force in Gloucester, Virginia. You're going to see the finals of the television title tournament. That will not be determined until this Saturday's event. You're going to see the tag titles, Bad Magic taking on XLG, the number one contenders. You'll see Man of War against Blade Brown. Brutal Bob Evans taking on the Beer City Bruiser. No disqualification. Doug Delicious defends the title against Damian Wayne. Amanda Kiss against Audrey Allen. Chase Emery against Brian Morris. I mean, it is stacked, son.
Wow. I see you like alliteration. Beer City Bruiser. BBBB. That's a lot of B's in that matchup. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, that sure is.
Gotcha.
And Audrey Allen versus Amanda Kiss, those two been going at it for quite some time. It goes back and forth. You do not want to miss on that matchup. That is always an amazing match every single time.
And I do not have the current poster because the last poster just got scrapped. There was some changes on it. December the 7th, there is still going to be a community championship wrestling show here in the Spartanburg, South Carolina area. Follow Community Championship Wrestling on Facebook to catch any details as they come up. The moment the poster is redone, I have already been instructed that I will have it and it will immediately be available on press. So there's that one. And then the final show we have to go over is this one here.
They're MATW again. My goodness, folks. Pro wrestling coming for the first time to Dominion Raceway. What a beautiful facility they have on a big piece of land. I love it out there. At first time I went out there, I was just dazzled. Big NASCAR sign outside of it. They have a concert hall, huge concert hall, restaurant, full bore. You can get served by waitresses with the VIP tickets. It is going to be a heck of a night. They have a huge fan base that go to those races. We expect that to be slam full of people. And that one, the card is still being set on there, but you can see that we got Rick Reeves returning for the first time in a year to Mid-Atlantic Wrestling, Big Man of War, Doug Delicious, myself, BT Windsor, and the Playboy Alex Bryant. If you ain't got a good look at him, that is an outstanding up-and-coming wrestler out of the Southern North Carolina area.
Excellent. Fantastic. All right, and that is all we have for the upcoming shows running into now December 7th.
Now December. All right.
Hey,
I'm surprised you don't have anything for next year already set up. Or is that a update show for later on?
Well, yeah, and we still have December 14th too. We just don't have the poster up for that one yet.
Right. There's that, and then I'm actually glad that that's the last ones we got that we're advertising for, because starting next week we're going to be using a new program, and I got to have all these flyers and posters on the other program because I'm canceling this thing tonight. This will be you are the last guest on our StreamYard studio. You know that? Because we're switching companies. I
don't know if that's good or bad. Did I put it so far into the shitter that you had to just gotta scrap the whole thing, pal?
No, this company recently doubled the charges for me to produce the show here.
Yeah.
And their service is going down. They are
limiting a lot of stuff
on us. There is so many glitches in the mainframe. It's not worth using. I would rather pay less money for a lesser product than I would pay this much money for a product that works worse than a lesser one.
I mean, that's just like when a wrestler comes to you and says that he wants twice the amount of money, and you get rid of him and he doesn't know what to do with himself.
There's a reason I give everybody the benefit of the doubt. If you talk to anybody who's paid me, 9 times out of 10, they're going to say I was worth every dime. Some of them are going to probably tell you I was worth some more.
Well, it's all in the package. I mean,
here's the thing:
you get promotion involved with that.
Yeah.
Work.
Here's the thing: I don't walk out of my house for less than a certain dollar amount.
Goodness.
I can't. Who the hell's going to drive? If you're driving 6 hours for $20, you're out of your mind.
Yeah. Hell with that, bro.
Dumb.
At least pay for gas. Damn.
No gas and food. And I don't want whatever you're talking about bringing in sandwiches from the local store to. I don't want that out of a gas station.
Hey, those Cuban sandwiches be banging though.
Okay, no, the Cubans is another ballgame. All right. Did I take you to the Cuban joint or no? I took you to the coffee place.
The coffee place.
Yes, I didn't get to take it to the Cuban place. I'll take it to the Cuban place.
Oh, don't get him started, Mr. Quinn, because when we talk food, we'll be on here for a while.
I love
Actually,
food.
you're a foodie guy yourself, aren't you?
Look, as small as I am, brother, I am like 140 pounds. I can put down with the best of them. I promise you this. I love to eat. But no, I don't want what you got at the gas station. I don't want the gas station hot dog and a handshake. That joker been on there for 36 hours, and that bun was out of the freezer 3 weeks ago. No bueno. Get away from me. I want to eat real food, and I don't want to, if I'm driving 6 hours, at least gas. Help me, help a brother out. I can't stand these companies. They're like, oh yeah, we can give you $20. And, no, you can't. You can, but you're not going to. Have a great day. I'm not coming. You're not going to give it to me because I'm not going to be there. Anyway, that's life. That is life. It was all the language. Yes, it was all the language. I know that was. I have tried to turn over a new leaf, and Missy, if you cannot see that, I have. I think I know last week I cussed a lot on the show. This week I don't think I have.
I did all the cussing tonight, pal. Yep, I took care of you.
Good. He carried the load. He took all the bumps for me. So great. Such a.
I'm getting awful old to be taking all the bumps, pal.
I know. And David did too. David took a lot of the bumps in the beginning of the show.
I was working with the freaking tire, man. Sucked.
Exactly.
Good God.
But anyway, the two semis are this weekend. Fleener, you're getting pile driven on Saturday. I am sorry. Quinn needs to pick you up out of the table, drag you to the ring, chuck you into the ring, and pile drive you in the ring.
That's right in the center of the ring.
At least I'm being nice and telling him not to do it outside on the concrete. See, that was me being polite.
Oh, please tell Missy there. She said she was going to bring me soap to WrestleCade. I won't be at WrestleCade. I'm actually going to a once-in-a-lifetime Man of War concert in New York that weekend.
No way.
That's freaking and they awesome. Have not played in the United States in like 20 years. So they're doing one show, and I got tickets.
I don't blame you. I do not blame you at all. Are you driving or flying?
No, Amtrak, buddy. I'm going to sit on a train and relax.
Nice.
Hey, there you go. Amtrak.
I can't deal with.
Did you see how his face lit up when he said Man of War?
It did. And my thing is this: I really do think that this country could benefit from a nice rail system that runs.
Yes,
agreed.
I really do think. Think about the jobs. How many jobs that would create? Yeah. A lot. How many jobs? Yeah. There's so much there. I really do think
I was thinking the same thing. I agree completely. Yeah.
They're already doing an underground one in Cali. I want to say, or is it Vegas? Does Vegas have the underground system right now? It's either LA or it's Vegas. I can't remember right offhand, but one of them's got a new underground rail system going on. I think it's gonna be awesome. I think a light speed rail would be fantastic for this country. I would be all for it. Let me pay $100 to be transported in a short order to DC. Heck yeah, let's go. Yeah, I'm from DC, so I would gladly do that and then catch a ride or rent a car or whatever. I don't care, but that would be fun. That was great. I can't wait. I can't wait to hear the results of these. A lot of these shows look great. Coming up, man, it's gonna be great. PQ, you went there, because you went into some stuff that some mud shows are doing. You'll bring the soap, and it's sad. She's saying it's sad you won't.
Yeah, we'll catch up sometime.
But thank you so much for being a guest tonight. This was a lot of fun. This is actually the energy boost I needed.
We both needed it. Yeah.
I'm about to energy boost some people on Call of Duty, pal. My 2.0 KD. That's what I'm going to do.
Get out of here. What?
There you go.
What are you using?
Yeah, buddy. I'm a camping son of a bitch. I'm going to tell you that.
Of course he is. Yeah.
Buddy, give me that XMG and let me sit back there with 100 rounds and just blow through them.
Oh, yes. Okay, I give you that. Yeah, that's my baby.
Okay.
Thank you, gentlemen. MATWonline.com. You want to see some good old school wrestling, some big some bitches on there just smacking each other around. That's where you got to go, baby.
All right, man. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the show. We know how it is. We're we can find you. You know where you can find us. Somebody knows where to be somewhere because there's a lot of wrestling shows coming up. We advertise everybody that we work with. We try to take care of everybody too, and everybody takes care of us. That's the great thing about it. So you know what happens? If we don't see you next week on this show, you know where we will see you? We'll see you
Happy
at the
Indies.
Indies. Have a
Get
great
'em,
night,
boys.
everybody.